It's not surprising that words are prominent in this bustling Teesside classroom. They're an ever-present reminder of the values held high by staff. Words like responsibility, joyful, humble, kind, truth, and self-control. But there's one key word missing, and it's obvious to anyone visiting for the first time. That word is passion. A passion to give a chance and a bespoke education to young people who face sometimes unimaginable problems. They may be vulnerable, hard to reach, hard to place, at risk of social and educational exclusion, or have mental health problems. We can't be specific about the individual difficulties facing the young people in this film, but they all have one thing in common. They deserve support and guidance. And Hopefields is where they find it. Here at the Robert Atkinson Centre in Thornaby and at a farm near the village of Wolviston. Pet therapy is always available, in the classroom or down on the farm. Hopefields is non-profit. It was opened in September 2020 by former mainstream special needs teacher Emily Greenhouse and Ali Laws, a specialist in the rehabilitation of horses and young people. It's paying dividends.
There's so much to gain from horses in that they give you instant feedback. The moment, they live in the moment, they don't worry about what happened yesterday, they don't worry about tomorrow, they just think about how they feel right now. And for a lot of young people who've never been exposed to that sort of honesty or to that sort of experience, it can be very empowering for them.
I'm really passionate about making education for everybody right. We are knowledge rich, we have a very, very knowledge rich curriculum. We have huge rules that people wouldn't expect us to have in alternative provision. But what we do have is this real grounding in education changes lives for everybody.
Hopefields is what is officially described as a provision for alternative education committed to trauma-informed practice. But it's more, much more than that. It's a safe haven for young people aged 14 to 25 whose lives are being turned around.
Leah was diagnosed autistic 2 years ago, and that came as a result of lots of struggles along the way, struggles socially and sensory at school, lots of assessments, and a diagnosis was made. And on the back of that diagnosis, Leah was assessed again, and she was given Hopefields as an alternative provision to mainstream. And that's when Emily and Hopefields came along. They worked with us to get to know Leah, get to know all her needs, what made her tick, what made her struggle. And then Leah started with them, and basically when she started with them, she's managed to get onto a course that is linked to her equine interests, but also allows her to do her curriculum subjects. And since she's been there, she's just absolutely flourished. It's had a massive effect, basically. As things have gone on and she's found that she's in a more secure environment and it's more predictable and she knows what to expect, her anxiety levels have come down a massive amount, which means that now she's able to identify problems before they happen. So she's able to kind of self-regulate a lot more, and in regards to her own life, she's a lot more in control, which means she has better relationships with her siblings, she has better relationships with myself and her dad. She's able to do a lot more because she can think things through when she starts getting into a crisis rather than it just exploding. So it's had an absolutely massive impact. And then socially, it's meant that because she's got all the knowledge of the horses behind her, she's able to transfer that into her own hobbies. She has a horse of her own, and so she's been able to develop that more outside the house, which has given her something of her own, which she hasn't really had before either.
Kira started mainstream school nearly 5 years ago now. Obviously she's in year 11. Through junior school she had struggles. Every day there was a creation. I was getting phoned out of work constantly to go and get her out of the school. She was refusing, she'd didn't want to be in school, but then she'd refuse to leave school if they excluded her. And then Hopefields came along, and we got this phone call in regards to this new provision, and would we be interested in meeting Emily, who runs it, and having a conversation with her. And she came out to the house, lovely, obviously lovely straight away, told us about the provision, sounded perfect, so we were like, yeah, this is great. Immediately, as soon as she started, because they were so attuned to her needs immediately, they've not really had many behaviours, very low level behaviours, but nothing major where they've had to contact me. She's never missed a day of school. She's absolutely adores going there, to the point, you know, the support isn't just through education. She's gone from being a very angry, upset, disruptive girl to a very settled teenager who has her blips, but is a much more positive and happy person.
Hopefields is no soft touch. Phones, vapes and cigarettes must be handed over at the start of the day. Swearing's not allowed. Emily's classroom policy is to be firm but fair.
We have a no mobile phone policy. We're a big believer in traditional skills. We like being outside, for example. We like our young people to talk to us. We want to engage them in communication. I really want to hear what they've got to say. I want their voice to be heard. And if they choose at a later date to use that media to do that, that's great. But now we've got to work on the here and now, and you're in front of me and we're in front of you, and that's how we engage with conversation.
Without doubt, Hopefields is a success story, and there's room for expansion.
Hopefields have a really great and proven successful track record of changing the lives of young people across the Tees Valley, and we really are looking to expand this year. We are non-profit, we're a non-profit organisation, we're a community interest company with a big difference, and we're looking for more young people to take part in our journey for their pathway to adulthood through their tree of hope. So we're looking for more referrals. We're open for referral. Our referral process is on the website. It's available for all to see, and we want schools and colleges and local authorities to come and see what we do, and with the view to having their young people with us for their education.
Far from being dumbed down, Hopefields takes pride in a rigorous, knowledge-rich curriculum, and it's outcome-focused. Learners aged 14 to 19 have specialist tuition in maths and English, leading to GCSE or FS exams. Arts Award Bronze and Silver, NCFE Level 1 certificate in preparing for the workplace, and other accreditations are available upon request. Some young people continue to complete a Level 2 qualification in occupational studies for the workplace. But as it's a child-centred provision offering bespoke education, courses can be tailored to suit individual needs. Learners aged 14 plus attend the 8-acre farm on a vocational and therapeutic pathway to adulthood. It's focused on transferable skills and an accreditation. The Montana project enables young people to not only gain vocational qualifications, but to change their lives by working with horses and stock. There are Old English trades and land management modules too. Career guidance is supported by work experience and links with potential local employers.
Everything that we do, every tiny bit of language that we use with our young people is trauma informed. So when our young person comes to us, we want to look not just at this precise moment, but about their pathway to adulthood, and it's about making them really successful in what they do and how they interact with people and the community. It's about being part of something, about being part of the Hopefields community, but also being part of something bigger.
Absolutely life-changing. Life-changing for Leah and life-changing for us. Best thing that's ever happened to any of us. Definitely.
I absolutely love the place. I think they work with the children brilliantly. There's, you can see there's a massive amount of needs and different needs in there. The way they work is amazing. I believe absolutely brilliant, and being attuned to the young people and the needs of the young people and meeting their needs.
I think it's like just like a second family, because I've never really fit in places, and like we all just fit in here. And Emily just, she does say it how it is, and she does just help us the best she can.
It's beautiful, it's like family. Changed my life really. I was in normal school, didn't really get along with any of the teachers, got bullied for a few years, and it got me distressed to be in the school environment, so I stopped going in and started getting excluded a lot to try and get myself out of the school. And then just before I went started year 11, the school phoned and said about me coming here, and Emily came to see me, and then ever since the first day I came, it just changed my life.
I mean, it's really, really good, and it actually, because I haven't been to school for 2 years, this is my first time, my second week, and I've never felt like more confident with myself.
Hopefields want to expand. We are looking to take more young people from across the Tees Valley. We're looking to inspire those young people to create better futures for their young people, for their children to move forward. We're looking to create a bigger company. We're looking to create more jobs and opportunities, and to really get our word out there about trauma-informed practice and what that looks like on a day-to-day basis, and get that message out in schools and colleges and through the local authority that our young people deserve a really quality education.